Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are doing well and are safe at home. So today we are going to be putting our soil into the pot and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. And we have already spoken about the different ingredients of soil that we have used. If you have not checked our previous video, that is the part 1, please go ahead and check part 1 and you'll be able to understand what exactly we'll be doing today. Today you'll be able to understand that how we're going to place the soil into the pot, how we're going to use the pebbles for drain holes and how we're going to use perlite. So guys, here we have our aquarium sand that we spoke about, and then we have our garden soil, our filtered garden soil. We have our mixing bowl over here. Now the next step what we're going to do is we're going to mix both these soils, but we're going to take it part by part. We're going to empty the entire container of aquarium sand into the mixing bowl. Now the next step what we're going to do is the garden soil, I won't be adding it all together, but I would be adding it little by little. I'll also ensure that the consistency has to be correct, so I am adding only little by little and also ensuring that I'm trying to get as much as larger granules from the garden soil. Even though if we have filtered it, I would still try and use only the larger granules from the garden soil. Let's give it a good mix, and you want to make sure that the consistency is correct. You want to make sure that the soil and the sand is mixing well and it does not get too sticky. I will keep mixing it and check whether I'm able to get the right consistency. That's more important. So as you can see that the soil is still very porous, it's not become compact. So I'll be adding a little bit more of garden soil. Again, I'm using only the granules, whatever is left, and I won't be using this fine soil, garden soil. This will be kept aside. I'll go ahead and mix, and I feel that the soil is already done. I can feel that the texture is exactly like the one that we want. Now, as you can see that the soil is so free flowing, it is not getting stuck to each other. You can see how porous the soil is. This is exactly the type of soil that we want. Even when you try to move the soil, it should separate and fall apart without sticking with each other. You can see that there is nothing sticky about the soil. It's not compact, it's as loose as it can get. And this is exactly what the succulents need. This is exactly where the roots will love to grow. The roots need a lot of aeration, and with this type of soil you can, just by looking at it, you can make out that the soil is very loose. Now guys, we have our pot ready. There is a drain hole present at the bottom of the pot. Every succulent pot should have a drain hole and the pot should not be very big. Now we are going to place these pebbles at the bottom of the pot. We're going to place and make a thin layer of these pebbles. We're going to put them over the drain hole as well. Don't worry, this huge rocks will not block the drain hole. In fact, it will make a good passage for the water to flow through. The water will seep through these stones, and at the same time it will filter the soil. It will not let the soil pass through the drain hole. That's one of the reasons why we are placing these huge pebbles at the bottom of the pot, because what's going to happen is when we use this soil into the pot and when we are going to water this pot, the soil might flow from the drain hole. Now the pebbles will stop the soil from flowing out of the drain hole. That is why we have placed these pebbles. Now we'll go ahead and fill this pot with the potting mix that we have just prepared. Now remember, if you're not using perlite, you can go ahead and completely fill the pot with this potting mix. But here I'm going to show you how to use the perlite as well. That is the reason I am going to fill this pot halfway through and then I am going to add perlite. So I'm trying to make sure that the soil has been evenly spread in the pot. And the next step what I'm going to do is I'll be adding perlite to the soil. Now I have not filled the pot completely with soil. I have left some space. Now here I am going to be placing the perlite. Now this is the place where my roots would be growing, so I want to keep this place more aerated as compared to the other part of the pot. And now after placing this perlite, I am going to top it up with some more soil so that the perlite gets locked into the soil. Now guys, we are going to lock this perlite with another layer of our potting mix. We want this perlite to be beneath the soil and not above the soil. So we are going to completely bury it inside the soil. Now remember guys, perlite is very expensive and you're paying so much of money for this particular product, which has to be beneath the soil and not above the soil. When you randomly put perlite into the soil and when you water the soil, the perlite is going to come to the surface. Now all the amount of money that you've put into this product, if the product is not going to work out for you, because the aeration has to happen under the soil and not above the soil. So if your perlite is lying above the surface of the soil, the main purpose of adding perlite to your soil has been failed. That is why we need to lock it under the soil. We want perlite to be around the root area, because the root area is the place where the aeration has to be more. That is the reason why I have placed this perlite in the root area. Now we are going to check by adding water if the perlite is going to come to the surface or it has been locked under the soil. Now guys, it's time to test the pot. I have 3 pots over here. The first one is with the garden soil. Second one is the potting mix that we just prepared with aquarium sand, garden soil and perlite locked inside. This one only has the garden soil and the aquarium sand with our succulent placed in the pot. Now let's go ahead and water these pots to check how quick the water drains. Now remember, do not flush your pot with water in one go. You have to be very gentle while watering, because you do not want to disturb the soil and the roots of the succulent, because the roots of the succulent are very fragile, so you have to be very gentle. Now we are watering our pot with the potting mix we just prepared. As you can see how quick the soil is getting absorbed, the water is getting absorbed into the soil, and you can see it's immediately left the pot. Now let's try the third pot. We're going to gently put the water around the succulent, and even this pot has started to leave the water. Let me just move it aside and show you that how quickly even this pot that does not have perlite starts to drain the water out of the pot quickly. And there you go, this pot is also draining quite well, the one without perlite. Now as you can see that when I'm adding water on the surface, it's getting absorbed so quickly into the pot and making the soil dry. Let me try once again putting in some more water on the pot that only has garden soil. As you can see, it's taking so much of time for the water to drain, and also the water is getting collected on the surface of the soil. And now you can see that the water has started to leave the pot, but you can see the process of draining is so slow compared to the other pots that we have over here. The other pots are completely out of water, but the first pot is still taking some time. You can see that the water is still stagnant on the surface. It's very slow process when it comes to garden soil, and it's going to take a while for this water to completely drain out. So this is the type of soil that you want to avoid for your succulents at any point. Now you can see this soil is completely off water. There is no water at all. The only thing is that the soil is wet, which is enough for our succulents to grow. You can see there is no water at all. It's just the soil is wet. But over here we can see that the water has still not drained from the soil completely. It's still present, and this is going to take a couple of minutes for the water to completely drain out. Even though it looks like the water has left the pot, but the water is still within the pot. Let me try it once again and show you how slow the process is. And look over here, how quick the water gets soaked into the soil and immediately leaves the pot. Now this is exactly the type of soil that we want, and you can see that the perlite is also not coming up to the surface, so the perlite is locked within the soil. Now here we see that it's getting quite messy, and the water is also not draining from the pot as compared to the other pots that we have over here. Look how quick the water has drained, and the soil does not have much water in it. As soon as we put the water into the pot, the soil drains the water out quickly, and that's exactly what we want. Now guys, let's take a look at the garden soil that we had just watered few minutes back. As I can see that the water is still present. It has not completely drained out of the pot, which is actually bad. Let's take a wooden spoon and check what exactly is happening with this soil. Now as I move the spoon, I can see that the texture of this soil is very sticky. It's almost like clay. That's because the garden soil contains a high amount of clay properties. That is why once we added water, it's kind of turning into paste. And you can see how sticky this soil is because it's sticking to the wooden spoon. It's already getting compact and very difficult to move around. Now, right now, this garden soil is in a form of semi-liquid state, but when you place this pot in the sun, the heat of the sun will start to harden this soil, and over the time, day by day, this soil will start turning into baked clay. So imagine your succulent, or imagine your succulent roots that are growing in this type of soil. It's going to be really difficult for the succulent to grow. It will be really difficult for the succulent to thrive. It will be difficult for the succulent roots to absorb water, because over the time this soil will start turning into a hard rock. Basically what material our clay pots are made out of. So you know how dangerous it is. Now a lot of people will not understand what's wrong with this soil, and they will blame the succulent, that the succulent is not growing, maybe because of XYZ reasons. So next what they are going to do is they are going to add coco peat, they're going to add compost, they're going to add fertilizers, they're going to add vermicompost. Imagine it's already, the soil quality is so bad, and you're going to add compost to it, which succulents don't need much when it comes to growing. But now that you have added all these stuff, so you know it's basically a recipe for disaster that you are preparing. Definitely the succulent will not be able to grow in this kind of soil. Guys, I hope that this video has helped you and you are able to understand how important the potting mix is for your succulents. So please go ahead and share this video with people who are having difficulties growing succulents. I'm sure that this video will definitely help them. And thank you so much for watching this video.